We lived next door to each other as kids,
And now, same city.
but we were never that close during any of it. But we knew each other.
I'd see him here and there.
We were aware of one another.
We kept our space, not consciously. We just ran in different spaces.
But we were always aware. Social war.
Another body, another name, another image is circulated. The latest body named, the newest image to haunt.
It's shameful.
I posted, "This is no time for apathy.
I liked it.
The fight for equality continues on."
Liked it.
And then I typed a hashtag, 3 words I thought anyone could get behind.
I didn't quite like that. I responded with the hashtag in 3 words. Nothing offensive. Words I thought anyone could get behind.
I didn't quite like it, so I deleted it.
She deleted my response.
My wall, my space. And yeah, I edited.
Totally
It's the one space
hypocritical.
where I can build the world I'd like to inhabit.
I respond to her posts a lot. We share the same algorithm, politically.
My response was to remove it.
Erasure is never okay. So I responded, "This is not a race issue. Not really. This is about abuse of power."
I responded, "Are you crazy?"
I responded, "We're talking about equality, the human experience. No time for stark divisions along racial lines. This is a time for us to recognize our shared humanity."
I deleted it.
I messaged her.
He messaged me.
We haven't seen each other in a while or spoken. The last time was at a concert. She was a little mad at me because the MC performed a song with the N-word in the chorus, and she saw me singing along, and she never said anything. But after the show, she was cold to me.
He messaged me.
"Hey, Kim, I know it's been a while.
He felt like we needed to talk, needed to clear the air.
Can we sit down for coffee sometime?" Sitting down.
I want to ask you what you meant, but I'm finding it hard to ask you. What I would rather do is just tell you what I think about what I thought you meant.
I can explain what I meant.
I'm sure you can, but can you explain what I read and what I took it to mean?
I just meant that we are all comprised of matter. Matter being that essential molecular element of which we are all built. Ordinary matter like trees and water, solids and liquids.
But sounds, the voice for example, was not always considered matter. Matter used to only encompass a select set of solid objects.
But all along, it was all matter.
What happens to matter split? Does it explode and decimate millions of bodies of color? And whose hands split that matter? What we are talking about are black lives split, shaken until they become bombs.
Their lives, those lives, it's all ridiculous. We're here, and we can decide the way this is going to go. This doesn't have to, shouldn't be, and we, us, we don't have to ascribe.
Aside.
There was that summer after senior year of high school. We were both short on credits. All our friends took off. We had to stick around. We both ended up working at the library to make extra cash. We kind of got close that summer. We talked about books, smoked joints on lunch break. That was the summer I got into R&B and I turned her on to some indie rock. I thought, man, what a cool chick. There was that one night after our shift. We got those tall cans and decided to break into the school. We heard someone. So we ducked into the only open room we could find, the chemistry room. It was dark in there, and we were super quiet. We drank more and started to get close. Maybe it was because things were coming to an end. We got close to... But we didn't. She stopped suddenly. Said she had to go home. We are on the same side, Kim.
Are we?
Yes, we want the same thing.
After another man is lying in the street? Your immediate impulse is to correct me, to talk semantics with me, to say, well, actually, Kim, I don't know what side that is.
Aside.
In particle physics, antimatter is material composed of antiparticles, which have the same mass as particles of ordinary matter, but have an opposite charge.
I don't think anyone is less or more or special.
When we say Black Lives Matter, do you think that's us saying we're special? Look at us. We're getting shot.
No, but it's sort of making your suffering worse than others. Wait,
Oh,
that's
wait.
not what I meant.
What did
It's
you-
saying your suffering is... I mean, what about in Africa? All the Boko Haram stuff. Or women all over the world being assaulted, or gays and lesbians,
Okay,
Hispanics
but
being
we're
deported,
talking about-
shot at border crossings, or hell, even poor white folks who live in black communities who are
Cole.
bullied because of the crimes
Cole.
of others. And
No.
I'm all for civil rights, but looting,
No,
property
no,
damage,
no.
and just rage,
You
it doesn't
do not.
work. I mean, it's
What
not
you're-
strategic. All lives, Kim. That's all I'm saying. Let's pull the act from the context of race. We have to break this down to the root human wickedness.
And sometimes humans kill humans because of their race.
Wouldn't it be great if... I just wish we could move on. Be ourselves. Be individuals. Our own perfect stars. Just be our own perfect stars. When we were kids, when we'd have a block party, all the kids would go out, getting our faces painted like Spider-Man, bike races. We were just kids in the neighborhood. When did we start
I was the only black kid at that block party.
I didn't see it like that.
You didn't see I was black,
I didn't treat you different.
but not everybody was like you.
Aside.
She wasn't always like this.
Aside.
I was silent. I used to be silent.
She used to be real easygoing. A cool chick.
I used to hold my breath, breathe shallow, up here, in my chest.
We grew up the same way.
But the way we are perceived is different.
But that doesn't mean those perceptions are true.
The water and the tree are in the same force, but not the same. Different mass, different volume, different uses. Are you willing to decrease your mass? Just say it. Black lives matter.
Do white lives not matter?
Nobody is saying what doesn't matter.
But it's exclusionary.
It's contextual in this climate. It relates to the splitting of black atoms with no consequence.
Aside.
I really want to leave. I feel sick. I want to hug Kim and tell her I'm sorry, but also, if I'm being honest, tell her to get over it. Life is hard, and there is no measuring stick for suffering. She can change this just by being herself, not this angry black woman.
Aside.
I really want to let Cole off the hook. Drop this whole thing. Tell him it's all good, but I have swallowed myself so many times to make white folks feel less uncomfortable.
I just want to fix it.
Cole wants to know how we fix it. Wants me to tell him, but I just woke up this way. I don't know how to dig into the hearts, rewire the circuitry. Who does? All I'm trying to do is keep it together.
I want to tell her I am sorry.
I don't need apologies. I just want it to stop.
To say it is to admit that my life, in someone's eyes, people living, people dead, has mattered more than other folks. And I don't think it does. But someone at some point has believed that, and maybe my life has been better because of that.
That night in the chemistry room when we got close, Cole and I, all those years ago, I was into it. I liked him until he put his hands in my hair. I thought about all those kids in school always asking him to touch it. Can I touch it? And how they'd react when they did. And he had his hands in my hair. And I wondered how he thought it felt. Weird? Funny? Good. Then I thought about if he'd been with any other black girls before, and it was just so much. So I told him I had to go home. So I did. I left, and that was the closest we've ever got.
A week or two later, I sent Kim a message. I thanked her for the conversation. I told her we should be in touch more often, that I wanted to keep talking. Not just about this, but our lives in general. Nothing. That was that, I thought. But one morning, I went on my timeline. I saw her picture and her name being shared by everyone. They called it a failure to comply. Failure to be silent. So she was made silent forever. She lives on now as a hashtag. But I still hear her voice hanging in the particles. Does a spirit have mass? It must. I can feel the weight.